Alright friends, welcome to another Dashercam Tesla adventure video. Today we're going to be doing a 1-year review on the awesome Michelin Cross Climate 2s. They are an all-season tire and I've had them on my car for about a year, about 30,000 miles, and it's finally time for me to go ahead and give you a 1-year update, a review, if you will, after having had these tires on the car all year long and going through some pretty treacherous conditions. A lot of rain, a lot of snow, and some great summertime drives as well. So without further ado, let's get into the car, let's go for a drive, and let me give you some of my thoughts on these Michelin Cross Climate 2s after having had them for over a year and 30,000 miles. So let's first start by talking about price. It's going to vary from where you are to where I am. To start, I went ahead and got these tires from Discount Tire. Shout out to the guys at Discount Tire in Albany, Oregon. Really appreciate all that you've done for me. The first thing that I would like to say is that they do come with a warranty from Michelin. This is a 60,000 mile warranty. It's a 60,000 mile warranty, guys. And they are EV rated, they are snow rated, and I honestly think that they're one of the best all-season tires that I've ever driven on. Sure, I might not have as much experience as some people, but I have enough experience to know that these tires are no joke, will get the job done. Now, I have gotten a couple of comments on my original video, part 1 of this little series, if you will. So if you guys haven't already checked that video out, please go ahead and check that video out. I will link it here so that you can have my first impressions on these tires. I go through some snow, I go through some rain, I drive around, and I give you guys some insights as to what I think the tires are like after having driven them for a couple of thousand miles from what I remember. The price was roughly $300 to $400 per tire installed. However, like I said, it does come with a warranty, and it's really, really important to mention that warranty because, as you all know, with EVs, whenever you're driving, there's a lot of torque, there's a lot of wear and tear on these tires, and once it gets below a certain threshold, I want to say 30 seconds of tire tread, then they're eligible to be replaced, and they're replaced at a prorated rate for that warranty spec. So these tires have been absolutely amazing. I drove through a ton of rain, quite a bit of snow, some ice, and summer driving conditions, which, believe it or not, in Oregon, it actually gets really, really, really hot out here. Over 100 degrees some days. So we got these tires in November of 2023, and I ended up driving about 30,000 miles, an amazing 30,000 miles. Honestly, one of the most competent and confidence-inspiring tires that I've ever driven on. Absolutely amazing. In the snow, as long as it's packed snow, I think that these tires really do well. The car is roughly 4,000 pounds. Let's talk about the car real quick. I'm driving a 2023 Tesla Model 3 Performance, aka a Prius, and it is all-wheel drive, does all of the things that you would expect it to do as far as the performance versions go. 0 to 60, 3-ish seconds, etc., etc. And these tires have held up tremendously well. I put them through their paces in many conditions that I wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable doing, definitely in summer tires, but in some of the other all-season tires that are out on the market as well. I really like the design of these tires with the V. I know that it's controversial. Some people really dislike the style of tire that it is, but I love it. I think that it's a beautiful, beautiful tread pattern, and it's symmetrical. It fits my personality really, really well. I don't think that they're ugly at all. I love how much tread it looks like there are. I definitely feel like these tires grip so well for all season tires. They are snow rated. They have the little peak and they're not studded. It is definitely worth mentioning they are not studded. So if you're driving in ice, you're definitely going to get a little squirrely from time to time, especially if you're in a rear wheel drive or a front wheel drive car. You want to take those things into consideration. If you've never driven in snow or ice before, you need to be careful. You need to drive with respect, and you definitely need to make sure that you're aware of what's going on with the car. In the snow, absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed driving in the snow. In the ice, however, I definitely noticed a little bit of slipping here and there. The most nerve-wracking thing is like whenever we're up here in the mountains trying to navigate between the icy patches of the road, the snowy patches of the road, and then the regular patches of the road. I definitely felt the car get a little bit squirrely from time to time. Never lost traction to say that like one end slid out from where the car was intended to go, but overall very competent. I do drive in sport often. I have a couple of clips that I'm going to be playing as we go throughout this video, so stay tuned to kind of watch my drive up the mountain, if you will, through a little bit of rain, a little bit of sleet. There's definitely some snow in there as well. So let's get into the nitty gritty, y'all. I think that these tires are actually really, really quiet for what they are. I do have double paned glass in my door windows, so in the front at least, not in the back, but in the front, I hardly ever hear any road noise at all. It's just amazing. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have any rattles in my Tesla, of course, but as far as like the road noise goes from the tires, from brand new to 30,000 miles, I really didn't hear them get very loud at all. I think that they were very, very low noise, what you would expect from a normal tire. So as far as the noise rating go, A plus, 4.5 out of 5 stars. They really didn't make hardly any noise at all. I think that they were right where they needed to be as far as quietness goes. I've ridden in trucks before where they have big mud tires and all you hear is wah, 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 wah. None of that with any of this, just quiet, perfect, what you would expect a road tire to sound like. The speed rating on these tires is 130 miles per hour. I never went anywhere close to that in my Tesla Model 3 Performance because, well, I drive like a normal person on the roads to the best of my ability, allegedly. And there's no reason for me to be going 130 plus miles an hour. But anytime that I did go on a spirited drive, I felt very confident. Let's talk about the warranty, because the warranty is actually part of the reason why I got these tires to begin with. Like I said, when about a year and when about 30,000 miles on these tires in a year, they're rated for 60,000 miles. So with that prorated amount, whenever you're getting new tires next year or the following year, whatever, and you get to that tread limit for the warranty to kick in, there's a high possibility that you could be getting 30, 40, maybe even 50% off of the purchase of your next tires, depending on the way that you've set up the purchase with whoever the distributor retailer is that you're going to. And obviously there will be installation costs. You'll have to follow up with whomever it is that you're getting your tires installed through. The question is, I guess, would I go for them again? And the answer is yes, and I did go with them again. A few months ago, we're filming this, what is today? January 11th, 2024, I believe. And I got the new tires installed a couple of months ago because I ended up running into having a nail in the tire, in one of my tires, maybe two of them, and they couldn't be repaired. They were close to the sidewall. The guys at Discount Tire, again, big shout out to them. I really appreciate them, in Albany, Oregon, were able to work with me and help me get some prorated amounts off of the tires because I was really, really close to the warranty threshold. So whenever I went ahead and got a brand new set of 4 tires, they were roughly $900 after taking into account all of the warranty rebates, etc., etc. So I was able to get these tires, which I want to say were roughly 1,200 whenever I got them installed the very first time to 900 installed again for the second round. Absolutely amazing job that they did mounting them, getting them back on the car, and it felt just like they did the first time. So I was really, really happy to get these tires reinstalled on the car because I know that they're a great tire. It is worth mentioning that I did get a couple of comments on the first video that said in the rear wheel drive Tesla Model 3, they weren't as good. Maybe not as confidence inspiring, maybe not as competent on the road, but still, I think that they've done a really great job. Now, as long as we're setting expectations, these are not studded tires, right? These are all season tires with the traction, snow rated. They have the little snowflake on them. So they are winter ready, but they're not studded tires. So they're not going to do everything as well as a studded tire would go, as a dedicated winter tire would go. But as far as all year long, they were so good all year long. Now I do in the future want to get a set of summer tires. That way that I can keep these for a little bit longer in the winter, hopefully go through maybe a 2-year cycle. But realistically, I could drive on these tires all year long and have no qualms at all. They were just fantastic. So Cam, tell me, who are these tires for? Because maybe I have an SUV, maybe I have a sedan and I want to put them on the car. Maybe I have a bigger truck and I want to put them on the car. So I personally think that these tires would go well on a sedan like I have. Again, Model 3 Performance. I know that they fit on the Model Y, but they don't make them big enough to go on trucks and larger SUVs. So I want to say maybe up to 20, maybe 21 inches. I currently have the tire size 245/45 R18s. I have 18-inch Martian wheels. Big shout out to the guys at Martian Wheels. I love my MW03s, would not trade them for the world. I may have even gotten a second set. Who knows? That'll come in a different video. The 18-inch rims mixed with these 245/45 R18s are phenomenal. Do they have the most comfortable ride in the world? No. But the Tesla Model 3 Performance, again 2023, pre-refresh, is not the most comfortable ride to begin with. I think that honestly, these tires really do absorb some of that road nastiness that you're feeling better than if I were on the 20-inch Uber turbines that this thing comes with from the factory, and if I had put the 20-inch rim version wheels of these tires on there. I know that the ride would be a lot rougher than they are on these 18s. So again, if you're going to go for it, I personally recommend at least an 18-inch tire and no bigger for an all-season style tire like this. I would definitely buy them if I had a Model Y. I know my friend Talik, I shouted out to him in the last video. Big shout out to Talik, y'all. He's doing big things. If you guys want to see any cool videos about Joshua Tree, the big Rivian outpost down in California, he's got stuff coming out in Las Vegas at the Sphere and at some big charging stations all the way around the California area. Definitely check out his channel. I know that he has a Model Y and that he put Cross Climate 2s on his and loves them. So they're definitely great for smaller SUVs, crossovers, and sedans, but unfortunately they will not fit on larger trucks. So overall, I'm really thrilled with these Michelin Cross Climate 2s. I think that they are the right tire for the average EV driver that goes through a little bit of snow. I definitely drive in a lot of rain out here in the Pacific Northwest. It gets nasty. A lot of standing water. This thing hydroplanes very, very well whenever it does. I feel in control. I'm not worried about the wheel jerking me off to the side or anything. And I know that that is partly to do with the tires. Obviously, the Tesla system is amazing as far as traction control goes, as far as stability goes. These motors are working so well and in tune with these tires, it's absolutely phenomenal the way that this car drives. If you haven't ever driven a Tesla, I highly recommend getting in one and going for a drive, especially with the brand new refresh Model Y coming out. I think that you would really enjoy driving at least a Model 3, if not a Model Y, and just kind of understanding the way that the motors work with these tires. It's absolutely phenomenal. Even the summer tires, the stock tires that the Teslas come on, they are just so confidence inspiring. As far as how did the tread go over time, did I notice any slipping from time to time after 20, 25, 30,000 miles? And while the answer is yes, it was very minimal, and it was only whenever I would stomp down on the accelerator pedal and really get going that I noticed maybe just a teensy bit of loss of traction, which that's going to happen from time to time. But being back on brand new tread, I want to say for the first 10 to 15,000 miles, I'm hardly ever going to feel any slipping. And whenever I do feel it, it's very, very minor, and it's honestly what you kind of want whenever you're going and maybe trying to slide the rear end out just a little bit in spirited driving, of course, on a closed track, because we wouldn't do anything not on a closed track. So there are my thoughts after having driven this car 30,000 miles on the Michelin Cross Climate 2s. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you have the Cross Climate 2s? Do you have other comparable all-season tires on a Tesla, on another EV? What's your experience? I definitely want to know. Leave me a comment. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit the little thumbs up button. It really does a lot to help the channel out. And please consider subscribing. I have review videos, dash cam videos, road trip adventures, DoorDash adventures, all coming to this channel. So I really appreciate all of the support that you have already given me. We're up to 700 plus subscribers as of the filming of this video. Big shout out to all 700 of you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for liking and subscribing. I'll see you on another one soon.